Hey everyone, hope everybody are doing good and welcome back to Homeschool Class 12 Chemistry. We started with the chapter haloalkanes and haloarenes. In my previous video, I have covered everything about classification, nomenclature and some introduction. And today, let us talk everything about preparation methods of haloalkanes. So I cover haloalkanes separately and haloarenes separately. I am not going to combine both of them. So first let us understand every preparation method of haloalkanes. Clear? See, haloalkanes can be prepared by four methods. One is from alcohols. You can prepare from alcohols, very common method and very important reactions you are going to study under this heading. Okay, and second one is from alkanes. And third preparation is from alkenes. This is also very important reaction. And fourth one is by halogen exchange methods. Halogen exchange methods. Okay, so these are four major preparation methods. First, let us understand everything from alcohols, how to prepare haloalkanes from alcohols. Okay, so we all know the general formula of alcohols is ROH. R can be any organic group. It can start from simple CH3 group onwards and it can go up to a complex organic group also. Okay, so ROH is the general formula for alcohols. You know, here we can use two reagents, okay, with alcohols to prepare alkyl halides. One is phosphorus halides. Phosphorus halides. We can use phosphorus halides. And also we can treat alcohols with hydrogen halides. Hydrogen halides. Okay, so first let us understand how to prepare alkyl halides when alcohols are treated with phosphorus halides. So what actually we mean by phosphorus halides? It can be PCl5. Okay, so it can be PX3 type where X is equal to Cl, Br or iodine. Okay, so we can use PCl5 or PX5 type of halides and also PX3 type of halides. Okay, so let's understand first this reaction. Okay, so I'm starting with the first reaction. When you take alcohols and when you treat with PCl5, what happens here is just this OH will get replaced by Cl. Okay, so Cl is most electronegative atom. So this electronegative atom attacks R group and OH group goes outside. Okay, so it is just the replacement of OH group with Cl. So if I replace this OH group with Cl, what do you get? You get your major compound alkyl chloride. Okay, so what are we getting here? Alkyl chlorides. Okay, and here byproducts are also very important to remember. See, okay, so among 5 Cls, 1 Cl was replaced by OH. So now one more Cl will combine with H of OH. So you get one product as HCl. Now what is remaining? 3 Cls are remaining, 1 phosphorus is remaining and 1 oxygen is remaining, right? So combine all of them, what do you get? POCl3. So POCl3 is another byproduct. Okay, so this is very important reaction. So whenever alcohols are treated with phosphorus pentachloride, you will get RCl. Okay, chloroalkanes you are going to get. Clear? Fine. And now let us understand when alcohols are treated with PX3 type of compound. Okay, so phosphorus trihalides. Okay, so it can be PBr3 or it can be PI3. Okay, so here X can be Br or X can be iodine. So when you treat alcohols with PX3, and remember PX3 is a very unstable phosphorus halide. It should be prepared within the reaction mixture. Okay, so you can't first only prepare PX3 and then add it to alcohol. So you know the PX3 will get formed within the mixture itself. Okay, so that PX3 reacts with alcohol. Here also the OH groups are getting replaced by X. So you have to use 3 alcohol molecules, so that in 3 alcohol molecules these OHs are replaced by X. So if I replace OH by X, I'll get RX, isn't it? How many molecules? 3 molecules. And now what is remaining, guys? See, remaining is 3 OHs are remaining and 1 phosphorus is remaining, right? So combine all of them. What is the byproduct you will get? H3PO3. Okay, so orthophosphorus acid. We call this as orthophosphorus acid. Right, this is what the reaction, guys, very very important. You know, suppose you have ROH and I'll add PBr3. So what is the product you will get? You will get, see, 3 BRs are there here, so I'll be taking 3 ROH. So here 3 OHs of ROH are getting replaced by Br. So we will get 3 RBr plus the byproduct H3PO3. Okay, so orthophosphorus acid you will get, right? So these reactions are very very important. Fine. And you have one more reaction here that is also important. Look at this reaction. When alcohols are treated with red phosphorus, okay, in presence of any halogen, here X can be Br2 or Cl2 or whatever it is. Okay, so when alcohols are heated in presence of red phosphorus, when it is treated with halogens in presence of red phosphorus, then also you will get alkyl halides as the products. Okay, so very very important. Whenever alcohols are treated with phosphorus halides, it can be PCl5. Okay, if it is reacted with PCl5, this is what the reaction. If it was PX3 type, it can be a PR3 or PI3, then 3 molecules of alcohols would react and you get the byproduct orthophosphorus acid. And next one is alcohol when it is heated with halogen in presence of red phosphorus, then also you will get alkyl halide. Okay, and another important reaction is there when alcohols are treated with SOCl2, which we will call it as thionyl chloride. Thionyl chloride. Okay, even here what happens is this OH will get replaced by this Cl. So you will get alkyl chlorides as a product, and byproducts are very very important here. See, one Cl is replaced by OH. Okay, so another Cl is there, no? Okay, so that will combine with hydrogen of OH and you will get HCl. Plus what is remaining? Here one oxygen, and this sulfur. So combine and you get SO2. So why this reaction is very very interesting and very important is the byproducts HCl and SO2 are gases. They are gases, and whatever the main product, that is alkyl halide that you are getting, that is available in a pure form. Okay, so pure alkyl chloride you can prepare. You cannot prepare alkyl bromide and alkyl iodide from this method. Why? Because if you want to prepare alkyl bromide, you should use SOBr2. If you want to prepare alkyl iodide, you should use SOI2, isn't it? So these things are very very unstable. They do not exist in our nature. Okay, so that is why you cannot prepare iodides and bromides, whereas you can only prepare alkyl chlorides. Okay, so why this reaction is the most preferable reaction to prepare alkyl chlorides is the byproducts that you get here are gases. They can escape into atmosphere. So only the thing remaining is your pure alkyl chloride. Okay, so this is very important, and this reaction has got a special name which we will call it as Darjan's process. Okay, so this reaction has got a special name called Darjan's process. Okay, so this is all about alcohols reacting with phosphorus halide and thionyl chloride. Okay, now let us talk about this category. Okay, when alcohols are treated with hydrogen halides. What do you mean by hydrogen halides? It can be HCl, it can be HBr, or it can be HI. Hydrogen with halogen is called as hydrogen halides. They are the best acids, isn't it? So let's understand what happens here. So ROH is the general formula, and when I take HCl, you know, here also the same logic, the Cl will get replaced by OH. So you would be getting RCl, okay, as the major product, and the byproduct is H2O here. But one interesting fact that you have to remember here is, see, alcohols, you have three types of alcohols actually. Tertiary alcohol is there, secondary alcohol is there, primary alcohol is there. Tertiary alcohol in the sense OH gets attached to tertiary carbon. Okay, say suppose CH3, 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 OH. Okay, so this carbon is a tertiary carbon, right? So OH attached to tertiary carbon is called tertiary alcohol. OH attached to secondary carbon is called secondary alcohol. OH attached to primary carbon is called primary alcohol. Okay, so tertiary alcohol is always more reactive than secondary, secondary is more reactive than primary. Okay, so if you take up tertiary alcohol, the moment you add HCl, you get your product. Okay, but if you take up primary, okay, so let the alcohol, okay, so let the alcohol be primary. If it is a primary alcohol, on adding HCl, you don't get product immediately. So here you need a catalyst called anhydrous Zn chloride. Okay, so only in presence of a catalyst you can get a product Rx plus H2O. Okay, so that is what the major point you need to remember. The alcohol that you take, okay, has to be more reactive to get the product easily. So which alcohol is more reactive? It is always tertiary, more reactive than secondary, more reactive than primary. So why is it like this? You know, all this is because of the mechanism. Okay, so you will understand why this order when you know a mechanism. So its mechanism you will study it in the next chapter, so don't worry. Okay, so mechanism actually involves the formation of carbocation. We studied in class 11 that tertiary carbocation is more stable, right? The carbocation, whatever is more stable, that can give the product very easily. So when do you get tertiary carbocation? When the alcohol is tertiary. So that is the reason why tertiary alcohol is more reactive than secondary, secondary is more reactive than primary. Okay, so remember guys, for tertiary you don't need any catalyst, but if the alcohol is primary, to get the product, what you want? You want the catalyst called anhydrous zinc chloride. Actually this combination, the mixture of HCl and anhydrous zinc chloride is called Lucas reagent. Lucas reagent. Okay, so very important reagent. So this reaction is again repeated in the next chapter, that is alcohols chapter. So there we study in a detailed way all about the Lucas test, Lucas reagent and etc. Okay, so as of now just try to understand this much. Okay, fine. And actually in the halogen hydrogen halides, you have three types, right? One is HCl, HBr and HI. Actually here HI will react very nicely compared to HBr, and HBr is more reactive than HCl. Okay, so this is the order of reactivity of hydrogen halides. and order of reactivity of alcohol is tertiary greater than secondary, more reactive than primary. Okay, so this is reactivity order in case of alcohol. This is the reactivity order in case of hydrogen halide. So if you take HI, reaction happens in a better way. If you take tertiary alcohol, reaction happens in a better way. Okay, like that. If it is a primary alcohol, reaction do not happen in a better way. So you need a help of catalyst, that is ZnCl2. Okay, so this is how you can prepare alkyl halides from alcohols. Okay, so here is a list of all varieties of reactions, the way you have to prepare alkyl halides from alcohols. Okay, and now let us understand how do we prepare alkyl halides from alkanes. See, preparation from alkanes is actually very simple, but you have to be careful in one particular point. I'll tell you now. See, usually whenever alkanes are treated with halogens, okay, on heating, okay, you can either heat alkanes with halogen or in presence of sunlight or UV radiation. Okay, UV light, let me write. Okay, so this is the condition, guys. This is very important. So halogens are treated with alkanes, so they are reacted with alkanes on heating or when they are exposed to UV light. What happens is the hydrogen atoms of alkanes gets replaced by halogen atoms. So that way you will get RX type of compounds, which are nothing but alkyl halides. Okay, so let's understand in a detailed way with few examples here. Suppose if I take CH3, okay, so here if you look at the carbons, both are similar. You know, this is a primary carbon, I can say, and this is also a primary carbon, right? So these hydrogens are primary and these hydrogens are also primary. So you have same type of hydrogen. So in this case, any one of the hydrogen atom gets replaced by halogen. So now I am heating this with Cl2 in presence of sunlight or UV radiation. What happens is all hydrogens are similar because both carbons are primary. So all hydrogens are like primary hydrogens only. So you replace any one hydrogen, either one hydrogen from here or one hydrogen from here. Let me replace one hydrogen from here. So what do we get? CH3. You will get CH2. Instead of one hydrogen, you have your X atom, that is Cl. Okay, so you will get chloroethane plus byproduct. This removed hydrogen combines with another Cl and you will get HCl as byproduct. Okay, but look at this. Look at this example. You have CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay, this one I am heating with, or I have exposed this in presence of UV radiation with Cl2. Okay, so what may be the product you will get? Here you will be getting two isomers, that is two products you are going to get, because all carbons are not similar. See, let's understand this. What type of carbon is this? Primary, right? And this carbon secondary, this carbon secondary, and this carbon again primary, right? So you have primary carbons one type and you have secondary carbons one type. So hydrogens of primary carbon is of one type, hydrogens of secondary carbon is of another type. Okay, so I can either replace primary hydrogen with chlorine, that is one product, and I will also replace any secondary hydrogen with chlorine, that is second product. So this way two products, that is two isomers you are going to get. So this is where you have to be careful, guys. Okay, so sometimes you have chances of getting isomers. Okay, so the different types of hydrogen you have, you know, that many number of isomers you will get as a product. So here I have two types of hydrogen. One is primary type of hydrogen, the other one is secondary type of hydrogen. I can replace primary hydrogen with halogen and I can also replace secondary hydrogen with halogen. So two products. Let me replace this primary hydrogen. I can replace this or this. You get the same product. Okay, let me replace this. So I get my first product as CH3, CH2, CH2, I'm replacing one of the hydrogen with halogen, so CH2Cl. So this is what? 1-chlorobutane, right? So this is the first product I get. And the other product is I replace any of the secondary hydrogen with halogen. Okay, let me replace this hydrogen. So what is the product we'll get? CH3, CH2, CH, Cl, CH3. I can also replace this. I get the same compound, right? So this is what? This is 2-chlorobutane. 2-chlorobutane. Okay, so this is where you have to be careful. Very, very important. And look at another example. Suppose I have CH3, 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 CH3. Okay, so what is this? Neopentane, right? So this is called neopentane. Okay, so this neopentane, if I treat with halogen on exposing it to UV radiation, so what is the product we get? Look over here. How many types of carbons you have? This is primary, this carbon is primary, this carbon is primary, this carbon is also primary. But what about this carbon? It is actually quaternary carbon, right? But this quaternary carbon do not have any hydrogen to replace. We have to replace hydrogen atoms, right? This quaternary carbon do not have any hydrogen, so forget. And you look at these hydrogens, all are primary hydrogens only, because all are there at primary carbon. Okay, so you can replace any one of the hydrogen. Here all hydrogens are same, equal. So in that case, replace any one of the hydrogen. Okay, so let me replace one of the hydrogen from this CH3. So what do we get? CH3, 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 CH2, Cl. So this is what the product you will get. Okay, so you don't get 4 products. Don't try to write, replace again one more product by replacing hydrogen from this carbon and again replacing hydrogen from this. You know, all will be same. If you try to name according to IUPAC system, you get the same names. That means they are same. They are not the isomers. Isomers in the sense, okay, the two compounds which have different names. Okay, so this way you will have to write the product, okay, from alkane, preparation of alkyl halide from alkanes. So very, very important. So whenever you are going to get isomers, you will have to be very careful. So just you will get the number of isomers which are equal to the number of different types of hydrogen that you have in a alkane. Okay, so that is all about preparation from alkanes. Now let us understand about preparation from alkenes. Actually, these reactions we have already studied in our class 11 hydrocarbons chapter, right? If you can remember the Marconi-Kauss rule, anti-Marconi-Kauss rule, right? So that is all we are going to study once again here under this topic. See, alkenes, we all know they are double bonded compounds. Addition reactions are very, very common. Clear? So for alkenes, whenever you add halogens, you know, you will get alkyl halides. You will get alkyl halides. So what type of alkyl halides you get is vicinal. Vicinal dihalides you will get. Vicinal dihalides you are going to get. Suppose you have CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, so I'll treat it with Br2. So here we use a solvent CCl4. Okay, so do you remember this reaction we studied as a test for checking unsaturation, isn't it? So anyway, I'm not going into much details. So here you add one Br to one carbon, another Br to another carbon, double bond will become single bond. So what is the product you will get? CH2Br, CH2Br. So is it not the vicinal dihalide? So what do you mean by vicinal dihalide? Halogen atoms, 2 halogen atoms you will have in a molecule and they are present on adjacent carbon atoms, side to side. Okay, so this way vicinal dihalides you can prepare when you add halogen atoms to carbon atoms which are there across a double bond. Okay, suppose if I take alkene, Okay, CH2 double bond CH2, and I can also add hydrogen halides. I can add hydrogen halides like HBr. So this is an example for hydrogen halide, right? You can add HCl, you can add HI or anything. I am taking here HBr. So what happens? H, this is a positive part and this is a negative part. Positive part will get added to one carbon, negative part will get added to another carbon. Since here it is a symmetrical alkene, okay, you can add positive and negative part to whichever the carbon you want. So what is the product you will get? If I add H plus to this carbon and Br minus to this carbon, what do we get? We get CH3 single bond CH2 Br. So you get bromoethane, right? So bromoethane. So this is addition of HBr to symmetrical alkene. But what if I take, this is very important guys. If I take CH3 C double bond CH double bond CH2. So what is this? Propene. So propene is the best example for unsymmetrical alkene. Unsymmetrical alkene in the sense, if you cut across a double bond, you don't get two equal parts. Okay, so such alkenes are unsymmetrical. So you take some unsymmetrical alkene and you will have to add HBr. Then how do you add? So here we follow a very famous rule called Markovnikov's rule. Markovnikov's rule. So very beautifully I explained about Markovnikov's rule along with the mechanism in class 11 hydrocarbons chapter. So playlist link I will provide in the description. If you want, you can just watch and enjoy the concept. Okay, so according to Markovnikov's rule, you will add positive part to the carbon having more number of hydrogen. You will add the negative part to carbon having, unsaturated carbon having less number of hydrogen. So according to rule, you will have to add HBr to unsymmetrical alkene. So if you add this way, what is the product you will get? CH3 and Br you added to this carbon, no? So CHBr. Double bond will become single bond. So to this carbon you added H plus. So it will become CH3. So you will be getting 2-bromo propane. Okay. So this is how you have to write as a product. Suppose I have CH3, CH double bond CH2. I will add HBr in presence of peroxide. So here comes another rule called anti-Markovnikov's rule, right? So what does the anti-Markovnikov's rule says? Positive part is added to carbon having, unsaturated carbon having less number of hydrogen, and negative part is added to unsaturated carbon having more number of hydrogen. So if you add HBr in that way, so what is the product you are going to get? CH3, CH2, CH2, Br, isn't it? 1-bromopropane you are getting. But according to Markovnikov's rule, 2-bromopropane. According to anti-Markovnikov's rule, 1-bromopropane. So this is very important. So you will have to carefully write the product and carefully check it out whether peroxide is there or not. Okay, and peroxide effect is applicable only for HBr guys, remember this. Okay, if there is HCl, even if peroxide is there, you will have to write the product according to Markovnikov's rule only. Okay, only peroxide effect is seen, anti-Markovnikov's rule is seen only for HBr. If the HBr is the reagent, only then peroxide will show its effect, and product you will write as according to anti-Markovnikov's rule. So all this beautifully I explained in that class 11 hydrocarbons chapter. Okay, fine. So this is how actually you will prepare alkyl halides, from alkenes. It is by addition reaction. Okay, so you have to be very careful. If HBr, hydrogen halide, is added to symmetrical alkene, how do you write? If it is added to unsymmetrical alkene, how do you write? If the reagent is HBr, if peroxide is there, how do you write the product? Okay, so this is all about the preparation of alkyl halides from alkenes. See guys, one thing you try to observe from alcohols preparation, from alkanes as well as from alkenes, whatever the way we prepared alkyl halides, no, we could very nicely prepare alkyl chlorides and alkyl bromides, but not alkyl iodides and alkyl fluorides, isn't it? So now we have some special methods, some named reaction through which we can actually prepare alkyl iodides and alkyl fluorides. Okay, and to prepare alkyl iodides, we have this exclusive reaction called Finkelstein reaction. We call it as Finkelstein reaction. Through this method, you can actually prepare alkyl iodides. So how do we prepare? We prepare from alkyl chlorides and bromides itself. Okay, suppose you have RCl or RBr. So when I heat this with sodium iodide in presence of a solvent called acetone, you know what happens is this iodine gets replaced with Cl. So you would get Ri plus NaCl or NaBr. Okay, so this reaction is called Finkelstein reaction. Remember, the reagent that we use is sodium iodide. And now, very important point for the competitive exams. Why do we use acetone? Acetone is used because, see, the product NaCl or NaBr that you are getting, no, that will be precipitated. These products are actually, they get precipitated in acetone, so that you can avoid reversible reaction. Okay, what if this and this react to give this? It's waste, right? So to avoid that reversible nature, you know, time to time we should remove that byproduct that is formed. Okay, so the byproduct shouldn't be available in a pure form to Ri. If it is available, you know, this would react with this and you will get back the reactants. So to remove this or, to remove this NaCl, this acetone is used. What happens is NaCl or NaBr gets precipitated. It gets precipitated in acetone so that it is no more available for Ri to go reaction in a backward way. Okay, in a reversible way, right? So that is all about the Finkelstein reaction. So Finkelstein reaction is exclusive reaction to prepare alkyl iodides. Remember. So what is the reagent we use? NaI, sodium iodide. Similarly, we have another named reaction in a chapter, that is Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction. So what we do in Schwarz reaction is same thing. So we take alkyl chlorides or alkyl bromides and we heat with metallic fluorides. Okay, so metallic fluorides, it can be AgF. Okay, it can be COF2 or it can be Hg2F2 or it can be SbF3. Okay, so these are most commonly used metallic fluorides. Okay, so on using these metallic fluorides, what happens is Cl or Br, whatever is there, that gets replaced by fluorine and you will get Rf, alkyl fluorides. So this reaction is an exclusive reaction to prepare alkyl fluorides. Okay, to prepare alkyl iodides, it is Finkelstein reaction, and to prepare alkyl fluorides, it is Schwarz reaction. So these are the different preparations of alkyl halides. We have learnt how to prepare from alcohols, learnt how to prepare from alkanes, alkenes and halogen exchange methods. So revise these reactions carefully and try to solve all in-text questions that is there in your textbook. So in my next class, I will give answers to all in-text questions relating to preparation. Okay, so till then, take care, keep learning and subscribe Homeschool for learning the concepts in a easiest way. Thank you so much. Meet you all in the next video with answers for all in-text questions.